Hello, welcome to our World Healing. This is an opportunity to bring in information for the first quarter of 2026, and I will show what I can in the offset picture here. Trying to grab another paper to jot down any details. And just welcome to spring, welcome to this new era that we're in. An era of transformation, keeping our discernment and our awareness very present in our day-to-day routine because things are just kind of crazy. We can see how things have played out over the last year or so and see a newness, a transition, a really bold energy coming through. I will go ahead and minimize my picture here because I'm not coming through visually, and we'll start the reading. My first card, I'm going to start out with the Wisdom of the Pelicans. Now this is a book. I will only read a brief sentence or two of a passage from the book to avoid any copyright issues. So right away, I'm just flipping randomly through the book, and you might hear the pages swooshing. I open it, my eyes are closed, I open it to a page. Maybe it would help to have the visual on what I'm doing. So my hand rests on the right hand side of the book, and I'm feeling 12 lines down. So I'm going to go ahead and count those. So 12 lines down, this is how it states. What she does is this: she turns away from him, spreads her wings, and with 4 or 5 harsh flaps, flies out of his life. Very interesting. The next sentence starts, William stands motionless as a rock. Now in my heart space, there's a sense of letting go of what was previous, taking flight. What was old, what is previous, is going away. Very clearly stepping out of our reality. What she does is this: she turns away from him, spreads her wings, and with 4 or 5 harsh flaps, flies out of his life. I find that very interesting. So I'm going to jot down what page number that was. Page 45. For those of you doing numerology, that adds up to 9. And for myself, I feel a sense of from my higher self inward and coming out. And that plays into that statement also. So just lean into how that feels for you. That can be interpreted different ways. What she does is this: she turns away from him, spreads her wings, and with 4 or 5 harsh flaps, flies out of his life. I get a sense that we're the bird. Leaning into it a little bit more. We're ascending and we're leaving behind the past. Take that for what it's worth. I find a beautiful energy in that of transition and change. I will move now to a card. Let's see what we've got. I am drawn to the Mother Mary deck, which is pretty typical. Such beautiful cards and good messages. This card represents the present. The first information that came through is for the past. Actually, that is the present. The first card's usually the present. So that makes sense. That feels right. That first reading of ascending, holding in that space of transition, is very much where we are in the present. So for the Mother Mary deck, that holds space with the past. We'll see what comes up here. I'm giving the cards a shuffle. And just holding in the energy of healing the world, bringing a sense of restoration into the hearts of humanity, into the heart and consciousness of all of creation, and just holding in that beautiful space. Next time, I think I will try and keep the camera on for this, just to make it a little bit more personable. I do like to see folks when I'm at a Zoom or a meeting, and this is a nice way to connect with folks. So next time I will do the camera. So I'm spreading the cards out. One card does jump out almost right exactly in the center. So I'm pulling that card forward and just leaning into the energy that speaks to my heart. Holding space with it here. Getting a sense of where this aligns with the healing of humanity, the healing of creation, and moving into a new era. This card applies to the past. I get a bold sense of green, a dark green, and that feels to be holding heart energy. That heart chakra represents a green, bold energy in that sphere of the heart chakra. It's a sense in my heart at this moment of healing from the past, finding resolution, release, and allowing ourselves to move forward. So the card, any other information coming through before I turn the card over? I get a beautiful blue energy, like an ocean wave. It has movement to it, and it just feels like an overall cleansing and releasing. So I think it comes in line with that dark green heart chakra energy. I will go ahead and look at the card, and beautiful. It speaks to that light blue. How pretty is that? You've got that light blue overall image. I'm just going to lay that out there. Our Lady Who Gives Peace, card number 32. So beautiful. Move it down just a bit. And we've got the dove here setting at her crown. There's a connection with divine about drawing into and bringing forward peace. We've got spring on the way in our current season, so this feels very connected, timely, birthing and transition coming through in the nest space here. She's very content. I feel a sense from this that she is aligning us. Holy Presence, Holy Divine, the Holy Mother, brings forward a loving energy, also seen in the roses that cascade over the top of her cloak, her cloth. but she's very much at peace, as it says in the statement. So card number 32, Our Lady who gives peace. Very profound in this era, in this time that we are in right now. Moving from a past that has been very disturbing, very chaotic, and Holy Mary brings in this sense of restoration in the blue, healing through the blues, these little highlights of white, and in the dove, on the highlights of the egg, it's touching on and reforming by the presence of divine. I feel that very boldly across her face. We get a accent of that light blue, and everything just feels very much encompassed by this healing energy. It runs throughout the image, and it runs throughout creation. Very much a blessing. I love that. I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit. See if I've got room to add the other card. For the second card, I feel that animal card, I have the Ancient Animal Wisdom. And either one of these I may go back to for more details from the book. And this is just the first quarter of 2026, leaning into the energy of what divine brings forward for us, wants us to keep a keen focus on. And so far it speaks boldly to healing and restoration. Allowing ourselves to feel that sense of ascension, of change, aligning with divine, and seeing a new tomorrow. We're really in it now. It is absolutely transforming. Okay, I've got the cards here. This is the Ancient Animal Wisdom cards by Stacy James and Jada Fire. So with my eyes closed, I go ahead and spread the cards out right here. Got my eye on that, again, the center of the deck. And to my heart, that speaks to centering ourselves. It just happened that both cards came out of the center. We always need that reminder to realign ourselves, ground ourselves well, release any negative energies. And I'm just holding space with this card, with my hands kind of clasped above and below the card, drawing into that energy, peace, feeling into what it means in this moment. And this card is for the future. Jotting down a couple notes here. So for the future card, the energy that I'm feeling come forward. I see a lot of rich greenery, plants shifting in the breeze. And in that is that sense of what we're seeing in our environment, a lot of climate changes. Depending on the area that you're in, there are some strange weather conditions, issues with just a little unusual temperatures, conditions, whatever it might mean for you. There's just a strong sense of the unusual with our environments, and a definite richness to the plants. There's like a renewal, something in a renewal of plants in our ecosystem, holding in that space. Anything more that Divine wants to bring through before I look at the card? We may have some new visitors today watching the video. You're certainly welcome. I will try and do this every quarter for 2026. And of course, there's no charge. If you would like to donate, you're sure welcome to contact me, and I can give you some details. Next time I will have my visual camera on, though. I think that's a little nicer for visitors. Holding in the space, this is the Ancient Animal Wisdom card. The palm of the bottom hand is getting very warm. And that's centered on the palm. I would have to look up a little information on that, because I have a sense that that does connect. It means something spiritually, to the core, to the center. Again, it goes back to rooting well. This is just my discernment, my intuition telling me this. Really ground yourselves in the morning, in the evening, especially in the evening after the course of your day, releasing any negative energies that no longer serve you, any toxins that you feel you may have picked up over the course of the day. Just release. Divine has a way of taking that away from us and doing what they need to do with it. The energies that be resolve that. And that can be in the form of a prayer to Divine, Sacred, Holy Creator. It can be in the form of shaking it off, visualizing light from Divine just moving through your body from the top of your head to your feet, and absolutely removing any of those heavy energies. And just make that routine. You wake up in the morning and you just do a quick cleanse like that. Very restorative. Helps you center and start your day. I'm not getting a real sense of what the animal is on this card. I do get a four-legged, fast animal, maybe like a jackal. There is some energy starting to come through on it. It's a slim animal. Now, this may be an energy I'm picking up that maybe isn't illustrated on the card, but I do get that sense of speed. And as I say that, I realize how quick things are changing now. We're in that high momentum of bringing in our new planet, our new creation, and renewing things very boldly. Any colors? We had the rich green that just felt like it was moving and shifting, representing the ecosystem. Let's go ahead and look at our card. And this is beautiful. We've got the giraffe energy. The giraffe brings forward a beautiful energy. In fact, I think this was drawn not too long ago in a humanity drawing or reading. It's interesting because there's two giraffe faces, noses coming together. There's something very spiritual in touching foreheads and then sharing that breath in that contact moment. It's being very much present to one another. I do get the same energy that came through the thin, fast. I believe giraffes are fast. They may seem a little bit clumsy in their run, but beautiful animals. So there is that slenderness to them also. I get a sense with this card with the orange and red energy at the base and at the top, we are very much being called to ground ourselves and release. Ground ourselves and release. Now, from my perspective and in my heart space right now, I get a sense of the giraffe being above and having a very bold perspective. They're above, higher than most animals. And I feel we're being called to view from an outer perspective. These eyes come through almost as belonging to the same animal, like this is one face overall. In that sense, there's that collective consciousness that what one sees, another may not see. So when we come into community and share with one another, we broaden our understanding and our perspective, and we begin to enhance our outlook, enhance our take on everything. So that's a beautiful energy of coming together. We get that sense here, sharing that sacred breath and being a part of all of creation. We also get this beautiful blue here, and it mimics the blue over here of restoration and healing. Quite a beautiful energy. And from this card also, we've got all of the lower chakras represented, the red, the orange, and the yellow, the solar plexus, the sacral chakra, and the root chakra. So just lean into how that feels for you. Welcome this healing and restoration of our new era. How beautiful. So the overall statement that I'm feeling from this is that there is healing present and restoration present for humanity, for creation, and we're just allowing it. We're accepting that and honoring that space with creation and our sacred creator to allow for that healing to take place. We have an openness, a sense of patience, and receptiveness, drawing into the good and reflecting that divine energy of our sacred creator. Quite beautiful. Step outside of our box. Some might refer to that as our matrix. Step outside of that and give a keen look to what's beyond the surface. Like the giraffe, take a vantage point that's above. Shift and ascend and view from a higher perspective. Very beautiful. Let's allow for that ascension. Let's welcome heaven on earth and lean into the good that can take place for all of humanity. Bless you in this season, and thank you so much for being a part of our first quarter 2026 reading for the world healing.